So it's October, and Halloween just so happens to be my favorite holiday, so each time October comes around, I like to spoil myself, but instead of getting the cucumbers out and putting some little slices on my eyes and running myself a hot bath like a normal person, I like to watch a lot of horror movies, most of them being very bad, very stinky, and I just recently made a review about, what is that movie? One Missed Call? As one of the worst horror movies I've ever seen. So I figured, why not keep that train on the tracks, keep adding coal to that furnace, and watch another really bad horror movie. Thanks, cat. Just keep on walking. Called the PeePee PooPoo Man. Well, it's not called the PeePee PooPoo Man. It's called the Baba Man, but I like to call it the PeePee PooPoo Man. And the cat is now in front of the camera. I'm going to have to say all of that again. I'm going to have to redo that whole intro there because he just decided he would do that. Actually, I'm not going to redo the intro, and I'm going to be very childish about the title of this movie as well. I'm not going to refer to it as its actual name. I'm going to call it the PeePee PooPoo Man throughout this entire video. I'm also going to be doing things a bit differently from my One Missed Call movie review. I'm going to be throwing in bits and pieces of my live reaction to the movie because I did record most of that. I forgot to turn the recording on for like the first 20 minutes of the movie, but I do have most of the movie and it can give you a good idea of how bad it really is. So I'm just going to summarize the movie for you a bit, throw in some clips of me reacting to help supplement that. And if I'm being honest to you, I'm just going to stop lying to your face. I watched this movie last night, and I've already forgot most of the things that happened, and I don't want to go back and watch it and write down stuff to make a proper movie review. So, you get what you get. It's like a dollar store hooker. So I want to start off by telling you how this movie made me feel after I watched it. It made me thankful that Alzheimer's disease exists, because that means I could potentially get that and forget all about this movie ever existing. And I'm only partially joking when I say that. And now I'm going to give you a summary of the movie straight from IMDb. I'm copying their paper word by word. When three college students move into an old house off campus, they unwittingly unleash a supernatural entity known as the Baba Man, the PeePee PooPoo Man, who comes to prey upon them once they discover its name. The friends must try to save each other, all while keeping the PeePee PooPoo Man's existence a secret to save others from the same deadly fate. Oh, come on now. I can feel you shaming me through the screen. You think I'm being real petty by calling it the PeePee PooPoo Man and not the Baba Man. But you can't tell me when you think about this movie, you don't think about the PeePee PooPoo Man instead of the Baba Man. The meme is just so much more popular and better than the movie. And also, the two titles are just as childish as each other. It's like a kindergartner could have came up with either one. The Baba Man sounds stupid and the PeePee PooPoo Man sounds stupid, but it's goofy enough to be funny. As a matter of fact, when I decided I wanted to talk about this movie, I had to go to Google Images and search the PeePee PooPoo Man and then click on posters until I found the original one that said the Baba Man, because I only knew this movie as the PeePee PooPoo Man at this point. And that's not really a bad thing, because it gives me more fond memories of this movie than I have actually watching it. But anyways, there are some tags here too, just to let you know what the movie's about. Bare-chested male, hallucination, maggot, teen sex, and male rear nudity. I always search by male rear nudity when I'm searching for a horror movie to watch. I gotta see some men booty cheeks flapping in the wind, or I'm not watching. That's my motto. And I want to expand upon the summary of this movie, just in case you were curious and wanted to know more. God forbid if you actually do. But just to put it in the simplest terms, it passes your standard template, terrible horror movie checklist. It ticks every single one of those boxes you can think of when it comes to a bad, scary movie. You have characters that make terrible decisions, characters that are super forgettable. You probably know more about your own birth than you do about these characters after you watch the movie, because I don't remember their names already, and I just watched it last night. The main antagonist might be scary to a newborn, but they don't even know they exist yet. And the plot, it's like they spilled milk all over the only script they had, so they decided to wing the rest of it. It's just not inventive, creative, or anything in any way, shape, or form. It's a copy and paste of most horror movies you've seen, but done in such a way that it's somehow even worse than those cheesy horror movies. The idea for this movie was doomed since conception, but the execution really just, you know, put it 6 feet under and buried it with cement. As a matter of fact, the only part of this movie I enjoyed even slightly was the main beginning, when the dude's just running around like he's in Call of Duty or GTA, breaking into people's houses, shooting them with a shotgun, one pumping them in the head for 200 damage. That's the only part I found slightly enjoyable. He was killing them, by the way, because they knew the name of the PeePee PooPoo Man, and the PeePee PooPoo Man possessed him, because you'll figure out in the movie that's what he does, and he made him kill all those people. But before we talk about the movie anymore, I want to read some quotes to you from the IMDb page, just to give you even more of an idea of how bad this movie is. Elliot: "No, Kim, there's a train. A real train." Train driver: "No!" Deserved. Don't think it, don't say it. Don't say it, don't think 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 it. John: "Don't say or think what?" Elliot: "The Baba Man."
Don't.
Don't say it, don't think it. Dude, he's gonna say it right after she does this. He's gonna say the name because he just seen it earlier in the little drawer.
Don't say it.
Don't say it, don't think it, bro.
Don't say it, don't think it. 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 Don't say it, don't think it.
Make that Belle Delphine face.
Don't say or think what?
He's gonna say it.
Bye-bye, man.
So now let's talk a bit more about the movie. And by the way, I have nothing wrote down about this, so I'm just going completely off what I remember, which isn't a lot. I'll show you for proof right here. This is the only thing I wrote down while watching the movie. There's a quote in this movie. As a matter of fact, it's the only thing I wrote down to make this review. And the quote is, "You want to watch something stupid? Yes, I do. That's why I'm watching this movie. Sick middle school burn." So yeah, that's the only thing I wrote down. Now let's talk about the movie a bit. So the movie starts off, like I mentioned a minute ago, with that dude walking around with a shotgun, just one pumping everybody like it's open season. And then after that, we meet our main characters, which is, what are their names? Elliot, is it Kim, and John? I know John, I thought the dude was name was Nick. I don't know. Let's look this up. Elliot, John, and Sasha, that's their names. I think I was calling that guy Nick the entire time I was watching the movie. And Elliot and Sasha are in a relationship, and John is Elliot's best friend. But if you just watch this movie and they didn't tell you that at the beginning, you would think that John and Sasha were in a relationship because of how much they're just all over each other. And Elliot doesn't seem to care, at least at first. He's like a cuck. He just watches and just doesn't see anything wrong with it. They're practically having sex with their clothes on. They're doing everything but intercourse, and Elliot doesn't really care. Actually, at the beginning of the movie, when they first move into the house, John goes and pees, and while he's peeing, he tells Elliot to come in there and check this out. And it's a curtain, a shower curtain, that has a fisherman getting head from a fish. And John just gets an absolute kick out of this and wants Elliot and Sasha to come look at it. And, you know, it's silly or whatever, goofy you could say. And then Sasha walks in and looks at it and goes, "I've seen bigger." Have you, Sasha? That's your response to the shower curtain? Not him getting a double gulp Slurpee down by a fish? That nothing about bestiality? You just seen bigger? That's what you're gonna say about that? And then after she says that, it gets worse. The dialogue gets worse. John looks at Sasha and says, "You're awesome, man. You're awesome." And then he looks at Elliot and says, "She's awesome, man. She's awesome. Your girlfriend's awesome." What? I think that right there is just the worst bit of dialogue between these characters in this movie. And there's a heaping pile of just word vomit that comes out of their mouth that I could choose from. But that right there, that has to take the cake. And just in case you have very poor inference skills and you haven't figured out how the Baba Man works yet, it's pretty much like Voldemort. You don't say his name, and you go one step further and you don't even think his name. And the way he works is like through word of mouth, pretty much. If someone figures out about the Baba Man, gets, you know, infected or possessed after they hear his name and say it and think it, and then someone else hears that, it carries on to that person, and then he'll kill them, and just the line continues, you know? Anyways, I'm done talking now. The rest of this video will just be my live reaction to some of the goofier parts of the movie, so, don't enjoy. We got a true hide-and-seek expert here.
You're a good faker, I admit it.
The keys are on the pot in this.
Put the keys in a pot on the stove.
Maybe I can see the future. Maybe I'm psychic, man. Oh, I need some clean shaven balls to rub on. I'm gonna be throwing some random pictures I have saved on my computer in between each clip just to avoid copyright issues if that happens to pop up.
Hey,
Who is that?
what are you
Oh,
doing?
that's his girlfriend. This movie's so bad I forgot who the character was. That was just some random girl. I'm gonna say something silly each time I put a picture up as well. Rule number 1. Don't go in the basement. What did I think? They're gonna make a smart decision in the PeePee PooPoo Man movie?
Hello?
God forbid. Sounds like a pig is giving birth. Don't ask how I know what that sounds like. Sounds like my grandma when I pushed her out of a wheelchair. You can ask how I know about that, though. Yeah, maybe don't hang that up like that. Even if it's not haunted, that's just not a really good look for your room. Maybe I'm gonna take that down. Oh, the goblin door's open. Let's just take a minute to appreciate these tiny little goblin doors. They're so neat. They're adorable.
You're shivering. I'm gonna figure this out, I promise.
Don't make promises you can't keep. Nick. What is her name? I forgot her name already. I know Nick and John, and I don't remember her name. It's not because I'm misogynistic or anything. I don't hate women. I just don't like that woman in specific. I don't like any of these characters. I just want to be pure. Oh.
Oh, baby.
Why are you acting like that, dude? Acting like a kindergartner who just seen his kindergarten girlfriend share snacks with another boy.
You were right, he's trying to get inside us. He got in her, he's gonna drive us crazy and he's gonna kill us.
Phrasing, bro.
Oh my god.
Holy God, in jeans? Man, sorry, I'm scrolling on TikTok and I just seen something. There's no way I'm gonna be able to pay attention to this movie now. Jesus.
Elliot? John? Where are you guys?
Up your butt around the corner in your gingerbread house, woman. This is what playing 1 minute of Call of Duty does to your brain. Bro, how did he miss? How is she still alive? After getting stabbed in the head. Oh, his bro finally blew his back out, I guess you could say. Man, it's sad whenever me making myself laugh is the highlight of the movie. He sounds like SpongeBob from that hash slinging slasher episode. The hash slinging, the lash slinging, the brash bringing, the pash slinging, the slash slinging, the hash slinging slasher. This is one of my dogs. His name is Jake. He said it, dude. That guy went out being a hater. Went out being petty. Dear God, Stacey Toddle, you made one of the worst movies I've ever seen. This movie just makes less sense than people who think James Corden is funny. It's not enjoyable. It's not even, once again, like the One Missed Call review. It's in the same vein. It's not even so bad that it's fun to watch. It's just a waste of an hour and like 30 minutes of your life. Like, you'd have a much better time if you just like used your ball sack as a punching bag for an hour and 30 minutes than if you watched this movie. It's just painful. And watching it, it felt like I was there for about 4 hours when it was only an hour and a half. That's how slow this movie feels and how painful. Oh boy, it's painful to watch. That's why I'm not going to go back and make a proper movie review like I somewhat did with the One Missed Call movie. Because that movie, it was bad. I do think it's worse than the Baba Man, but I don't know. There's something about this that just feels, it just feels wrong for me to go back and do it like I'm, you know, like I'm jerking off to a weird type of porn. It's like I'm just ashamed of myself for even watching this. That is a really good way to describe it, at least if you're a male. I don't think women have this feeling, but watching this movie feels like post-nut clarity. You're like, what did I just watch? I need to cleanse myself. I need to go get baptized and, you know, blessed by a saint. Or go take a shower for an hour and dump a whole bottle of shampoo on my head to feel pure again. Or go one step further and be like Frank, be like Danny DeVito from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and cover yourself with hand sanitizer and crawl around the floor saying, I want to be pure. Just don't be like me and watch this movie. I'm going to continue to watch bad movies because I just like torturing myself. It's just the man I am. I'm probably going to watch Slender Man next or something really bad like that. I'm just going to watch all the bad horror movies so I know that when my life really hits rock bottom, that I've been even lower. Anyways, I hope this video somewhat turned out coherent and a little bit understandable. I know I'm not super good at making videos, especially movie reviews, because I'm not organized. I don't plan stuff out, script stuff out. I just kind of turn on the camera and wing it. So, movie reviews aren't really my forte, but I do like watching bad horror movies. Like I said, spooky season is my favorite time of the year. So, you know, every year I do this. Well, last year, it's not like I've been making videos that long. But I want to make this a tradition of talking about bad horror movies at least a couple times during the month of October. Maybe you enjoyed it, maybe you didn't, but I'm going to end the video now. I don't have an outro, just watch me turn off the camera.
Now do you believe me?